Hey guys, this is Red and Blue, your channel on YouTube for all things PSG in English. Please subscribe. I wanted to do a quick one because we're getting all of the final details on the Ballon d'Or, so just wanted to close this off properly and just share the latest news. And I think to start with the most interesting one, relevant one, is we got the details of the score tallies that got published. And it confirms what we had kind of known since the ceremony, which is this is a very, very clear and decisive win from Dembele. In the end, he got 1,380 points, where Yamal got 1,059. So, if you compare to last year, for example, Rodri had only won over Vinicius Jr. by 41 points. Here we've got more than 300. And 73% of the 100 journalists who voted from 100 countries around the world put Dembele first, when Yamal is only first 11 times. So very, very, very clearly, Dembele is ahead. Which is pretty amazing because ultimately, it's the biggest prize in football, and so seeing Dembele win it so clearly, it really shows that for people who follow, for journalists who are into football day in day out, there was no game, and last year was really Dembele's year. And another one which is interesting, Dembele and Yamal both were named. So every journalist, the 100 journalists who vote, they give a top 5. Both Dembele and Yamal were always included, so 100 times out of 100. But Yamal he got 9th place when Dembele was never out of the top 5. So that really shows as well. And then in terms of players who also got a top 1 spot, so Yamal got 11, Vitinha got 6. So 6 journalists say Vitinha was the best player in the world. Mohamed Salah 4, Achraf Hakimi 3, Kylian Mbappe 1, and then Gvisha Kvaratskhelia got 1, the Georgia journalist, and Scott McTominay, who had a great season with Napoli, actually also got 1 from his local journalist. It's kind of funny. And then another thing that I thought was interesting, looking past Dembele and looking at the rankings in general, it got very, very, very close between 3rd and 5th. And you see Vitinha is getting 703 points. Behind him, Salah 657. So that's 46 points. And then after Mo Salah, Rafinha is at 620, so that's 37 points. And so I think it shows that past Dembele, who was the outsized winner and really clearly the guy who was going to get it, outside of Yamal, who clearly has a lot going on for him and who a lot of people are looking at and appreciating, there is this group of players who are really tighter in terms of what they produce and their performances and how they get appreciated. And then a few I don't know little tidbits, funny thing. Donnarumma is finishing 9th ahead of Nuno Mendes 10th by just 1 point. So too bad, Nuno. Sorry for you. That's kind of rough. Same thing, one that personally I thought was a little bit silly, but Alexis McAllister and Jude Bellingham in particular finished just ahead of Fabian Ruiz. So you've got to explain to me how on last season Fabian Ruiz is not ahead of Jude Bellingham, but also only by 1 point. So McAllister and Bellingham get 21 points. Fabian Ruiz get 20. He's actually tied with Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan, who I thought should be a whole lot higher in the ranking. But it is what it is. So it's kind of funny. So that was kind of the final score on the Ballon d'Or and the final rankings. Another one that was interesting as well, just wanted to mention, because it only came out yesterday, but there was one last award that PSG actually won, which is the best I don't know how it's actually named in English. It's the best complete sequence leading to a goal, I guess, which Desiree Doué won for his second goal in the Champions League final. So, this is the one where like Vitinha moves the ball forward, and then like Dembele passes it back to him with that little back heel, and then like Vitinha drives it and passes it forward to Doué, who scores. So this one is that's that sequence of the year, and so this one goes to us. And then like we're also starting to see all of the interviews and reactions, and a lot of it obviously is very like flat and like to be expected, but there's a few tidbits which are interesting. I think PSG like has produced a lot of videos that they've put up on their socials and on their YouTube this week, so go check those out, because a lot of them like behind the scenes tidbits are like super interesting. Like the one that I like the most is when Dembele comes back to the campus with his Ballon d'Or, and you can see a couple of interesting things. Like you can see one, like Hakimi like genuinely like happy for him and congratulating him and so on. So I think for all of the like Hakimi debate that we had in recent months, and like how the club wasn't supporting him and how like this was creating friction and so on. I mean, if that was the case, it feels like they moved past it very, very quickly. And it's so nice to see that, obviously there's a camera in front and the players would have to be mindful of this, but also like they genuinely look happy for each other and having a good time, and they're poking fun. Like Hakimi is actually telling Dembele like, oh, like now that you won the Ballon d'Or, you need to come into training with a suit every day. Kind of hilarious. And you see like Vitinha looking at the Ballon d'Or and kind of caressing it like, I want one of those myself someday, which, all in favor for. You see like Luis Enrique as well, and it's funny because like there was an interview of Dembele where he says that in his speech getting the Ballon d'Or, he says Luis Enrique is like a father figure to him, and then you see like Luis Enrique when Dembele comes back to training with the Ballon d'Or, he goes, "Oh, Ousmane, Ballon d'Or!" And he makes a big deal, like completely over the top. It's like super funny. And yeah, in an interview, Dembele says that like for the past 3 months, every time he would see him, Luis Enrique would do the Ousmane Ballon d'Or chant. I can completely imagine. It's like it cracks me up because like Luis Enrique is like so like energetic and over the top, and it's like really funny sometimes, but at the same time, on a daily basis, there must be time where you're like literally must be desperate to find the off switch for him. Like, can you imagine like the coach literally for 3 months every day like chanting Ousmane Ballon d'Or, Ousmane? It must be like so like funny and annoying at the same time. But yeah, like clearly shows that that everyone is getting along well, and like things are going on. And then like in his interview, like what did Dembele said? He said like he got a lot of messages from his old like Barca teammates. That the first one to congratulate him was actually Messi, who I think they have a very, very strong relationship. That even Xavi sent him a message straight away. So yeah, quite positive, and I think it's one of the reasons why personally I was so happy to see Ousmane the Ballon d'Or, beyond just like the amazing season that he's had, is that genuinely he feels like a nice guy, and like you cannot find anyone in world football who says something negative about Ousmane. The closest they come is saying that he's an airhead, and like that he's not like that serious. But yeah, like apart from this, like he's universally appreciated, and so it's pretty nice to see. So yeah, we're getting all of the winners' interviews. They're coming out now. Like France Football is who organizes the Ballon d'Or, obviously has all of the first rights of publishing of the interviews, and they're coming out today in France. It's a magazine, so they're coming out today in France. Some excerpts already made it out, but nothing really groundbreaking. But yeah, like those were like the top things that I thought were kind of like funny and relevant, and we wanted to mention. So anyway, this is where we stand. There's also going to be a big party in the Parc des Princes tonight after the Auxerre game. Confirmed, like some French rapper are going to be playing, so there's going to be a big to do about it, which is awesome and well deserved as well. So if you're lucky enough to be in Paris and going to the Parc des Princes, like don't leave at the end of the game. And yeah, like for me, like, you know, I'll come back to you when there's more news around PSG. As always, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on, like, you know, are you surprised that not that Ousmane Dembélé won the Ballon d'Or, but that the gap is so wide? I think, you know, the Spanish PR machine had made us believe that you know, Yamal was in the game and was deserving it, and clearly, like, in the end, it wasn't really a conversation. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. And don't forget, day after, but Ballon d'Or in our hands. Ici c'est Paris!